The kunai had struck true. Daichi lay bleeding out on the battlefield, his chakra fading into the dusk.
So this is how it ends.
But death was not the end. He opened his eyes to an endless white void. Before him stood 12 figures, glowing with ancient chakra. One by one, the Hokage stepped forward. Each placed a hand on his forehead, pouring jutsu, instincts, and memories into him. Power flooded his soul. 11 lifetimes of mastery. But when the 12th figure approached, he halted.
I will not give you my memories.
Why? What are you hiding?
The other Hokage watched in silence, their expressions unreadable. Then, without a word, they joined hands and channeled their remaining will. A surge of chakra engulfed Daichi, and the void shattered. He felt himself torn back toward the world of the living. He gasped awake, 12 distinct chakra signatures swirling in his eyes. At his own funeral, the funeral crowd erupted into chaos. Some screamed, others stumbled back as Daichi tore himself from the pyre. Hokage Ren, standing among the mourners, froze, his eyes locked onto the swirling chakra in Daichi's gaze.
He sees it. The power of the Hokage inside me.
Clear the area. This boy needs immediate treatment. I'll handle him personally.
Ren pulled him from the chaos into a sealed underground chamber where no one could overhear.
I saw it. The chakra of every Hokage who came before. It's inside you now.
He isn't afraid. He's planning something.
You will become our village's hidden blade. Train in secret. No one can know the truth.
I nodded. But even then, I felt the hole where the 12th's memories should be.
And so, Daichi became the ultimate weapon. But the question remained, why had one Hokage refused? For weeks, Daichi trained in secret under Ren's watch. The power of the Hokage came naturally.
Every jutsu I try, I already know it. Like muscle memory from 11 past lives.
His first covert mission was over in seconds. The enemy never stood a chance.
This power is incredible, but it's not mine. It's borrowed.
At night, Daichi would meditate, diving deep into the ocean of inherited memories. He saw battles won, villages saved, sacrifices made, 11 lifetimes of heroism.
But when I reach for the 12th Hokage's knowledge, there's nothing, just silence.
It was a void that gnawed at him, a missing piece that made the whole feel incomplete.
Why would one Hokage hold back? Was it a mistake? Or did he hide something from me?
The question festered, turning his victories hollow. He was unstoppable, but not whole.
Takeshi, there's something I need to tell you about the power I inherited. The 12th Hokage refused to give me his memories. There's a void in my mind where his life should be.
What? Why would he do that? Are you sure it's not just taking time to surface?
I've searched every night. It's not a delay, it's a deliberate absence. I need to know why.
The next night, they slipped into the village archives. The air was thick with dust and secrets.
The records on the 12th Hokage, half of them are missing, and the rest are classified.
Daichi unrolled a brittle scroll. A single line, incident preceding Lord 12th's succession. Details withheld by council order.
Withheld by council order. This isn't just secrecy. Something was covered up. Takeshi, the 12th Hokage, didn't just die. Someone made sure his last days were erased from history.
Armed with a single cryptic line, they left the archives. The hunt for the truth had begun, but so had the danger. The next morning, Daichi stood before the council chamber, requesting access to the sealed records of the 12th Hokage.
The 12th's files, they are complete and sealed. Why would a young weapon like you doubt the council's documentation?
I found records suggesting there was an incident before his succession. I just want to understand the truth.
You are the Hokage's secret blade, not a historian. Some doors are best left closed. Do not pry into matters beyond your station.
That was not a refusal. That was a threat.
As he left, a cold sensation crawled up his spine. He wasn't alone. Shadows moved at the edges of his vision.
They've put a tail on me. The council is already watching.
That night, he met Takeshi in a hidden alley, far from prying eyes.
They're onto us. Elder Goro, as good as threatened me, we can't approach the council directly anymore.
Daichi had become a target. The more he uncovered, the tighter the net closed around him. Late that night, Daichi meditated in a cramped underground cellar, Takeshi watching the entrance.
I've pushed my chakra to its edge. Show me the missing pieces.
His mind shattered through a barrier of silence. A vision bloomed, the 11th Hokage's final memory, a dark corridor. The 12th Hokage, Tetsuo, reeled from a blow, his robe torn. A shadow loomed. The blade descended. But the killer's face was a blur, erased from even the Hokage's sight.
Murder. It was murder. But who? The face. I can't see it.
He jolted awake, gasping. Takeshi was at his side in an instant.
Daichi, what happened? You were screaming.
The 12th Hokage didn't die naturally. He was assassinated, and the killer's face was hidden.
They stared at each other, the weight of the revelation settling. Now they had to find the murderer, disguised as laborers. Daichi and Takeshi crept into the old administrative wing, the corridor, from the vision.
The shadows match your vision, but it's too quiet. We can't stay long.
At the end of the hall, an old shinobi hobbled out of a side room, his eyes haunted.
You served here during the 12th Hokage's time. What do you know about his death?
The old man's eyes widened. He stammered, "The elders. They were there." Then a blade flew from the darkness. He crumpled before he could finish. Daichi barely deflected a second kunai aimed at them.
The elders, the council, they killed him to bury the truth.
More assassins dropped from the ceiling. Daichi and Takeshi fled through a hidden escape route, barely alive.
They're ready to kill anyone who knows. We can't trust a single informant. The council has eyes everywhere.
But they had heard enough. The council was guilty. Now they needed irrefutable proof. Before the council silenced them too. The council, sensing Daichi closing in, pressured Hokage Ren to assign him a solo border patrol, a mission too dangerous for any squad.
This patrol is classified as high risk. The council insists you are the only one who can handle it. Return safely.
A trap. But if I refuse, they'll know I am onto them. I'll play their game.
He set out at dusk. At the ambush point, there were no allies, only a battalion of silent assassins waiting in the trees.
So, this is their answer. Not a mission, an execution.
But 11 Hokage's combat instincts erupted within him. He moved like a phantom, cutting down the first wave with brutal precision, but the numbers were overwhelming. A blade plunged into his side. An explosive tag sent him sprawling into a ravine.
I won't die here, not before the truth is known.
For hours, he crawled through the mud, leaving a crimson trail. The village gates felt a lifetime away. At dawn, he collapsed at the gate, more dead than alive. The trap had failed, and his resolve to expose the council burned hotter than ever. Despite his wounds, Daichi limped toward Elder Sato's private quarters. Some confrontations couldn't wait.
That patrol was a trap. Your council sent me to die. How long have you been covering up the 12th's murder?
Covering up? You are delusional. Accidents happen on missions, but keep prying, and accidents might happen closer to home. Your friend Takeshi, for instance. It would be tragic if he stumbled into the wrong alley.
He's threatening Takeshi. If I act now, I'll only give them an excuse to silence us both.
Daichi's fists clenched, but he forced himself to turn and walk away. The council's noose was tightening. He found Takeshi that night, not in their usual alley, but in a dark, forgotten cellar.
Sato, as good as, admitted it. And they're going to use you to get to me. You need to disappear. Now.
Disappear? We're in this together. I am not leaving you.
But Daichi's eyes were resolute. This fight had become too dangerous for anyone but him. That same night, Daichi circled back to the council hall. Its deepest vault held the answers no living witness could give. He slipped past the guards, using the stealth of the first Hokage. A hidden passage led to a sealed chamber. Inside, a single leather-bound ledger lay unguarded on a stone pedestal. He cracked it open and his blood ran cold. Assassination of the 12th Hokage. Tetsuo, full payment rendered to operatives. Authorized by Council Order 77, signed by Elders Goro and Sato.
This is it. The proof that will bring them down.
But as he tucked the ledger into his vest, a chakra seal flared. Alarms screamed through the stone corridors. He fought through waves of masked guards, unleashing jutsu after jutsu. The Council's forces were nothing against the power of 11 Hokage.
If they catch me now, it's over. I have to get this ledger out.
With a final explosive burst, he shattered a stained glass window and plunged into the night. The Council's enraged shouts faded behind him. By dawn, the village gates were sealed. Daichi was now a fugitive, hunted by the very power he had sworn to serve. But the truth was finally in his hands, deep in the forest, in a bunker from the old wars. Daichi reunited with Takeshi. Safety was now only a memory.
You actually got it. The Council's own documents.
Signed by Goro and Sato. They paid for the assassination with village funds. It's all here.
As they read, the air turned cold. A faint blue glow coalesced in the center of the room. From the light stepped the 12th Hokage, Tetsuo. His ghost hovered, eyes filled with ancient sorrow.
You have found the truth, Daichi. And now you must understand why I could not give you my memories. I wanted you to discover this yourself. The other Hokage and I chose you as our vessel and our avenger. The Council murdered me to hide their corruption. They sit beside the current Hokage even now.
Then I'll expose them before the whole village. They will answer for what they've done.
Daichi's fist tightened around the ledger. The path ahead was clear, and it led directly to the village assembly. They traced the village map, marking the Hokage's tower with a red X.
Ren's residence is a fortress. Council agents monitor every approach. We'd never get within 100 meters.
Then we don't go to him. We make him come to us at the assembly. The Council can't hide from 1,000 witnesses.
The assembly. If I can read this ledger aloud, the village itself will be our shield.
They planned for hours, sketching escape routes and signals.
I'll need to be close enough to reach the stage. Once I start, there's no turning back.
I'll throw a smoke bomb near the Council seats. The confusion will give you seconds to reach the platform.
Daichi secured the ledger inside his tattered vest, its weight pressing against his heart.
If I fail, we both die.
In the bunker's darkness, the only sound was the scratch of Takeshi's knife sharpening. The waiting began. At dawn, Daichi and Takeshi crept toward the assembly square, but the streets were already lined with masked Anbu.
Seize the traitor Daichi. He stole the village's most classified documents. By council order, he is to be imprisoned immediately.
They've turned the entire village against us. There's no way out.
They fought briefly, but chakra suppression cuffs snapped onto Daichi's wrists. The world dimmed. They were thrown into a holding cell beneath the courthouse. The iron bars hummed with anti-chakra seals.
They didn't find my hidden bead. When they open the door, I'll drop a smoke bomb. Follow me.
When the guards came, Takeshi's smoke exploded. He slipped through the chaos, but Daichi was pinned by 3 men.
Run, Takeshi. I'll hold them as long as I can.
Alone, he was dragged to a solitary confinement cell. Special seals wrapped his body, smothering every trace of chakra.
They think they've silenced me. But the 11th Hokage knew how to escape a seal like this.
Hours later, guards dragged Daichi into the central courtyard. A crowd had gathered for the public interrogation.
Confess your crimes, Daichi. Admit you stole the ledger, and we may show mercy.
The only criminals here are you and your council. And I will see you burn before I beg.
As the crowd stirred, Daichi caught a glimpse of a figure in the back. A familiar hand signal. Takeshi. Suddenly, A dozen smoke bombs erupted across the square. Panic spread. The guards lost sight of their prisoner. Daichi focused his chakra inward, recalling the 11th Hokage's secret art. The suppression seals shattered with a crack of light.
Takeshi, the ledger, where is it?
Safe. Now follow me. There's a sewer entrance behind the fountain.
They dove into the sewer tunnel, locking the grate behind them. Above, Elder Goro's enraged shouts echoed, ordering all guards to the assembly square.
They'll tighten security, but the assembly is still our only chance. We're going. Today, we end this.
In the sewer junction, a handful of shinobi answered Takeshi's call. They were the few who had whispered their doubts about the council.
This ledger proves it. The 12th Hokage was assassinated, paid for by Elders Goro and Sato. They killed him to bury their corruption. The other Hokage chose me to expose them.
One of the warriors, a veteran who had served under the 12th, stepped forward and took the ledger from Daichi's hand. He read in silence, then closed the book, his hands trembling. For years I wondered. Now I know. He knelt before Daichi.
I am not a hero. I am a vessel for their will. But today, I will make sure their sacrifice wasn't wasted.
The assembly starts in an hour. We have one chance, one wrong move, and none of us walk away.
I may die, but the truth will live. That is more than I could ever ask for.
They slipped out into the dying light, a handful of shadows moving towards the heartbeat of the village, the assembly square. At the square's edge, Daichi paused. He could hear the murmur of 1,000 voices. The council would be waiting. The assembly had begun. On the high platform, Elders Goro and Sato sat motionless, the Hokage Ren a silent shadow behind them.
People of the village, the traitor, Daichi, has been revealed. He stole our most guarded documents to sell to our enemies. We must remain vigilant. The council has always protected this village from such vipers. Trust in our judgment.
Deep in the crowd, Daichi and Takeshi stood hooded, their faces hidden. The ledger pressed against Daichi's ribs like a burning brand.
Every word he speaks is a lie. They murdered Tetsuo, and now they smear my name. But the truth is in my hands.
He glanced at Takeshi, who gave a single, almost imperceptible nod. It was time.
This is the moment. Everything I've suffered for this.
Daichi pushed forward, weaving through the crowd. Then, in the space between Goro's words, he stopped and threw back his hood.
Liar. The only traitors here are the elders who murdered the 12th Hokage.
1,000 heads turned. The square fell into dead silence. Goro's face twisted with pure, undisguised rage.
This is Council Order 77, signed by Elders Goro and Sato. It orders the assassination of the 12th Hokage, Tetsuo.
Lies. Guards, seize the traitor. He forges documents to destabilize the village.
The guards hesitated. The crowd murmured, uncertain. Then Daichi threw his arms wide.
Assassination of the 12th Hokage, Tetsuo. Full payment rendered to operatives. Read it for yourselves.
And then he called out to the void, his voice shaking with power.
Tetsuo, 12th Hokage, I summon you now. Bear witness.
Out of the darkness, a blue flame ignited. The translucent form of the 12th Hokage rose above the crowd.
I am Tetsuo. I was murdered by these elders to hide their corruption. The truth is now free.
Enough. Council Elders Goro and Sato, you are under arrest for the assassination of the 12th Hokage.
The square erupted into chaos. The elders' decades of lies had shattered in a single breath.
If the village turns against us, then the village will burn. Forbidden art, corpse puppet binding.
Elders Goro and Sato's bodies twisted, dark chakra erupting. They had taken the most cursed technique in the village's history.
You would sacrifice your own souls just to hold on to power. Then feel the weight of 11 Hokage.
Water, fire, lightning, earth. The elements of the past Hokage erupted around Daichi. He was a storm given form. Goro blocked, but Sato was hit squarely, sent crashing into the bell tower. Takeshi and the allies threw up barriers to shield the crowd.
They're faster than I anticipated, but they can't match the legacy of 11 Hokage at once.
Goro, the boy is stronger than expected. We must combine our powers.
But Daichi was already there. A fist wreathed in the first Hokage's wood style slammed into Sato's chest. Sato crumpled, his dark chakra extinguished. The crowd gasped. One elder was down, but Goro's fury only intensified.
You think this is over? I'll drag this entire village into the underworld with me.
That's enough, Goro. You've disgraced the village long enough.
Ren's adamantine sealing chains erupted from the earth, wrapping around Goro's limbs. The forbidden jutsu was instantly nullified. Goro collapsed under the chains, his dark chakra extinguished. Both elders were defeated, their decades of tyranny at an end. Tetsuo's ghost ascended, his shimmering form now at peace. He looked at Daichi with a father's pride.
You have done what I could not. The truth is alive, and my spirit can finally rest.
He began to dissolve into motes of golden light. Daichi reached out, his hand passing through the fading soul.
Rest well, Tetsuo. You are free now.
The square was silent, save for soft weeping and the rustle of the wind. The nightmare was over.
People of the village, the corruption has been purged. Justice will be served.
Daichi stood amid the rubble, his eyes still glowing faintly. The ghosts of the Hokage were silent, but their purpose was fulfilled. The crowd's murmur turned to a roar of approval as Hokage Ren raised his hand for silence.
The charges against Daichi and Takeshi are dropped. They are heroes who exposed a vile conspiracy.
Children ran towards Daichi, touching his tattered sleeves as if he were a legend come to life.
You did it, Daichi. The village is free.
Daichi nodded, but his gaze was fixed on the Hokage monument, a new weight settling in his heart.
11 lives. 11 legacies. And now they're all a part of me. What does that make me?
You carry the will of fire like no other. The village will need you in the days to come.
Daichi simply bowed. The Hokage's words, a quiet command he didn't yet know how to fulfill. The celebrations began around him, but Daichi stood still, a single point of calm in a sea of joy. As the sun set, the 12 chakra signatures in his eyes dimmed, but their echo would never truly fade. Days later, Daichi climbed the familiar path to the Hokage monument. The stone faces watched silently in the dawn light. He stopped before the carving of Tetsuo, the 12th. His hand reached out, fingers tracing the cold stone.
I'll carry your will, Tetsuo, and the will of all who came before. I won't let the fire die.
As he spoke, a gentle warmth spread through his chakra. For a heartbeat, he felt them, 12 presences, watching. In his mind's eye, they stood in a line, all 12, and they were smiling, not as ghosts, but as ancestors at peace.
They're not a burden. They're my strength, my family.
The vision faded, but the warmth lingered. Daichi lowered his hand and took a long breath of the mountain air. He turned away from the monument and faced the waking village below. The path ahead was his to walk.
I don't know what I'll become, but whatever it is, I'll make you proud.
And with those words, Daichi descended the cliff, his eyes steady. The 12 Hokage's legacy alive in every step. That evening, Daichi found Takeshi at the old training grounds, bouncing on his heels. The air was cool, the sky a deep orange.
I've been waiting. Let's see if all that Hokage power can beat good old-fashioned speed.
Daichi smirked, taking a combat stance. For the first time, the challenge felt like play. They darted forward, exchanging quick blows, punches and kicks that no longer carried the weight of war.
No tricks, no traps, just us, like the old days.
Daichi's eyes glowed, but it was a warm light now. 12 flames holding steady. He ducked under Takeshi's swing and lightly tapped his friend's chest. A point to Daichi. They collapsed onto the grass, breathing hard, staring at the sky painted orange and gold. The village below peaceful.
So, ready for tomorrow.
Always, Takeshi. Always.